Hey guys, Harbour KG5IWQ here with the Chicago Electric 90 amp flux wire welder. So, I'm doing a review on this not just because it's a new item I have, but mainly because there's been a ton of controversy over this product. There's some people that say don't get it because it doesn't have the argon tank, and there's some people saying you get what you pay for, so I was extremely confused as to what the heck I was doing buying my first welder. Well, I went down to Tractor Supply here in San Antonio. We got 3 of them. Went over to the one on Walsham Road, I believe. Picked this guy up for $109 with tax and everything, and I got some extra metal brushes. Total was about $120, so can't argue with that for a 90 amp welder. So, the goods and bads about a tankless MIG welder, flux wire welder. Well, first of all, it doesn't have a tank, and your wire has a flux core to help with the insulation process, I believe, or metal adhering process. I'm not too good with the physics on welding yet, but I will definitely learn more as I go. Pretty basic. There's a good amount of people that could do it. Went over to my cousin's house today, and we both learned how to weld, and he did it better than I did, and it was his first time ever doing it. His bead was a lot better than mine, but I only have about 5 hours of experience, so of course I'm not the best. But I am a new buyer, and I have used it. It does work actually quite well. It just depends on what you're going to use it for, is what it boils down to. Everybody's going to tell you that, but here's what I found out. If you're looking for small jobs around the house, small jobs where you can just, pull this guy out, you don't have to strike an arc or anything. I mean, literally, I just go, if I wanted to weld something here, I just go, pop, or maybe, a little bit of here, a little bit of here, and if I didn't care, neatness wise, I could leave it like that and I'd be done. Arc welder is a little bit more difficult to use, but in the end, arc welders are still decent. But I mean, really, if you're just gonna do little stuff around the house, maybe fix things, weld things back together, you can't argue with this thing for what they give you. It's great. It's great for that reason. It's not gonna make a vault door or anything. The bead on this thing's only maybe about that wide, and that's max power. Well, that's minimum power is about that, and then maximum power is about that much. Is what I've been getting it to. It's 35% duty cycle at 60 amps, and it is a 10% duty cycle at 10 amps, or what did I just say? At 120 amps, it is a 10% duty cycle. So, I mean, yeah, freaking simple. I'm not going to mess with the wire speed, but variable wires, on-off switch, minimum, maximum power. And this little light tells you if you're getting too hot. You can't freaking beat the price on this thing. And on top of that, they give you a 90-day warranty, which I'm keeping the receipt for. I'm going to put this thing through a bunch of tests and everything, and tomorrow I'm going to weld a bench or a little stool here for the workshop, which I use a lot. Come down here every day. But, I mean, shoot, you can't beat it. If you really like arc welding, go down and buy yourself the $85, I believe it was, electric arc welder. I don't know much about arc welding. I've only done it once, and I didn't do it very well. Like I said, this is coming from a pretty much unexperienced welding guy, a first timer, and I really don't mind this at all. Like I said, if you really want to go crazy and you're gonna weld big time steel, I think you're gonna need an arc for that, from what I've heard. But like I said, if you wanted to weld this stuff right here, this is what you want. $109, you cannot beat it. Their spot welders are more expensive than this thing. So this was about 110 total, or about 112 total with tax. Then I went down to Northern Tool, Oh, don't fall. Don't fall. Don't make a noise. Please don't make a noise. I went down to Northern Tool and I bought this guy for 20 bucks. Shade 11 lenses as usual, and it's got a clear thing. It's not automatic ignition, meaning it doesn't, or automatic detect, which the more expensive ones, they're pretty clear, but then when they sense the light from the weld, they will go extremely dark, which is pretty good. I might invest in that later on. It's got a big fan on the back, which I'd like. Some of them I was looking at don't. You can see it back there. It's a big fan. Very big fan. Let me show you the wire spool here real quick. Spooling system. For those of you who don't know much about MIG welders, you got your wire, in this case core or flux wire. Basically, you just take your this spool comes with the welder, and I think this is 0.35. Yeah, so there's our speeds and everything. Right now I think this is a 0.35 is what we're using at the moment. Pretty darn cheap. It's $10 for a whole nother spool, a 2-pound spool at Home Depot, which, like I said, just doing small welds against the job, this will last you a while. Yeah, and then you just kind of feed it through, and you turn it on, pull the trigger, and as soon as you see it come out the end there a little bit, you're done. So, can't get any more simple than that, and let's just twist off. And this one, loosen that up, that pulls over, that flips out, and that's how you get your wire on. So about 6 hours total has been on this machine, and I got it today, and there are no problems with it. And hopefully if I take care of it, it won't give me any problems, because I can fix things pretty decently. However, I'll leave that like that for now. I don't feel like fixing a welder. Kind of a dangerous thing. But anyways, that's the Chicago Electric Welding 90 amp flux wire welder. Simple, easy to use, good for small jobs, probably not for the big ones. Buyer beware, my guys. You know, it's Harbor Freight. I don't know, some of their products aren't that great. I've been through them, but this one seems to be doing good. That's about it for now. Shoot. And you know, my next buy, if this thing works good, my next buy is going to be an acetylene torch. That's, if you're welding, that's kind of a necessity. It's good for cutting heavy, thick metals. So I'll probably end up buying that. There's a really cheap one on eBay for $180 for acetylene and an oxygen tank. It's a little like a carrying hard case. But I'll probably do some shots of this thing later in action. Throw that on YouTube and let you guys see my terrible welding skills. But alright guys, have a good one. Hope this was informative, and I hopefully can save you some money regarding welding equipment. KG5 IWQ Clear 73.